In this video, I'm giving you a first look at my brand new F1 chassis motion simulator that is part of the best sim racing studio in the world that I'm building at the moment. Here we go. The simulator is a full-scale half F1 car, as you can see right here, with side pods. The only thing it's lacking is the rear wing that would be at the back, and of course the wheels, and then the front wing as well. There is the whole nose cone that is on the car, but it is lacking the front and rear, and the wheels of course. Now it's fully made out of fiberglass, so it's a very nice structure, and it's been painted over with a glossy black paint job. Which looks really nice in the lighting that I have right here. As you can see, some really nice white daylight lighting, which looks really, really cool. Now, there will be a livery on this car in the future, but I haven't got around to doing that yet. There will be some orange and white stripes with logos and all that stuff. It's gonna look literally like an F1 car, which is actually crazy. Now, the steering wheel is inside as well, which is a GSI Hyper P1, a little bit of a look-alike to the Red Bull F1 steering wheel, if some of you might have noticed already. There's a lot of technical stuff inside of this simulator, so I will show everything that I can in this video. Now, a lot of you might be wondering, how the flip do you get inside of the cockpit? It must be so tight in here. Now, it is actually a little bit less tight than you might think. It is still very tight, of course, it is a one-to-one scale F1 car, but because you only need sim racing equipment and a couple of other things, it is not as cramped. You have a little bit more space to move. Now, it's still similar to how it would normally be. Basically, I get this little thingy out to make sure that my paint does not get damaged. Then I remove the steering wheel with the quick release, which is basically like a real F1 car. I put it on the side just like that. Then I get my feet in the car. I make sure I, of course, grip on. Then make sure that my clothing is all nice and tidy, because once you slide in, your clothing tends to go up. So make sure it's all the way down. Then go like this, and then you're basically sitting in it. Don't worry, I'm not as tall as it looks like right now. But then I need to slide my legs in. So I slide my legs in like this. It is very tight. Slide my back in, and then just like this, we are in the simulator. Then I can put my steering wheel back, and then I can finally start racing. When I remove the cloth, we can go and race. Here we go. Now, most of you might be wondering, how does the motion work on this thing? Now, there's 3 motion actuators, which basically the whole simulator stands on at the bottom of the simulator. So basically 3 standing legs. D-Box is really cool because it also gets used in cinemas. So if you go to like a 4D, 5D cinema movie, most of the times it's also D-Box. Now, for sim racing, what's really cool is they actually integrate with a lot of different games, like the F1 game, iRacing, Assetto Corsa, and many other things. And this is actually the first time that I have experienced D-Box myself, actually getting the simulator here, which was really, really hard to do. And I'll show you in a little bit what had to happen to get the simulator in this room right here. Now let me show you how the motion works in this. I'm gonna put everything to the maximum, which is gonna make a lot of sound. And we're not even in the game right here. So just imagine we would be racing right now and then seeing what it would be like. So starting the motion haptic test right now, you can see the simulator actually going up and down to test. And now you'll be able to see a lot of vibrations right here. The steering wheel vibrating and all that stuff as well. Now it's gonna go left and right. I always like to say it like this. It feels like a vibrator in here. Oh my goodness. It feels like a vibrator in here. Even though I wouldn't know how a vibrator feels, I would imagine this is what it would feel like. So it is pretty crazy. And of course, going into like a game, it's even crazier. Now, some of you might be wondering, how the flip did you get a full-scale F1 car through to a room? Through the door? Well, I was gonna try to, but it doesn't fit through the door. No, this actually came through a hole I had to make in the wall, which is right here. It looks amazing right now, but this used to be the outside of the house. So there was literally a wall right here, double brick wall that we had to cut through, put a glass panel in, after, of course, the F1 car came through. It was crazy. Also, of course, the F1 simulator is part of building the best sim racing studio of the world. So if you are interested in checking out what it will become in the future, because it's not completely done yet, then make sure you subscribe, because you do not want to miss out. But let's check out the F1 simulator and check out the juicy details under the cover of this simulator. Now, of course, the steering wheel inside right there, that is the one I'm using with a quick release. We got the Stream Deck to be able to control everything that happens on the screen without having to grab our keyboard and mouse, which actually, I'll show you right here, is something very clever I came up with. If you look under the hood, so basically this is the side pod. You can see that on top of the side pod there is currently a keyboard. I put some mats on there, rubber mats, so that the keyboard doesn't vibrate and fall off. So it's quite sturdy in there, but I can put the keyboard there while I'm racing, and then on the other side I've got my mouse, which currently is right here, but it's gonna be underneath this side pod. Now, of course, the side pod is right here. It looks really cool, but basically it's see-through. You can see a little bit of a red light right there as well. In the back of the simulator is where a lot of the cables go, and they're all clamped on with tie wraps and all that stuff, so it doesn't really move, but there's a lot of space in the back of the simulator to put all your cables. Now, the microphone goes right outside of the simulator, which is quite nice, and you still have a pretty close proximity if you sit right here to the microphone, so it's quite nice to actually have good audio even though you're sitting in an F1 car, and luckily the motion does not hit that pole as well, so it's nice and tidy. The monitor is a 57-inch Samsung Odyssey. It's 4K, but the PC can't even run 4K and do content creation with streaming on the side at the same time. So I'm currently running it on 1440p, maybe in the future with better GPUs and all that. We've got a camera on top which has a really nice view of the simulator, basically like this, where you can see the steering wheel, you can see me sitting in it, you can see basically the side pods and all that stuff. It basically looks like you're sitting in an actual F1 car, which we are, but you can actually see it, which is really cool. It's hanging on this TV mount, which is coming from the ceiling. So what's really cool about that is that all the cables are routed through the ceiling and then going all the way through the wall into that cable management ditch, and then going all the way to the back of the PC. The PC doesn't look amazing in terms of cable managing right here, but to be honest, nobody goes here, right? Nobody flipping goes here. Maybe I'll tidy it up later, but this is where all the cables go, outside of the cable management area. Now, what's really cool about this is that you have a lot of things that an actual F1 car has as well, like this little box right here that I've just taken out, in which you can actually install the pedals, do some adjustments and all that stuff, and you can actually see inside of the pedal area. You can see there is one SimiCube active pedal for the brake and one for the throttle, and then there's a big shaft, a big rod in the middle that goes all the way from the steering wheel, which you can see on this side, all the way from here all the way to the back of the simulator, which we're gonna check out as well. The SimiCube wheelbase is right in here. But this is basically like a real F1 car, where you can literally see inside of the pedal area. How cool is that? So now I've put the front of the nose off of the simulator, and as you can see, it literally looks like an F1 car inside. This is the wheelbase, a SimiCube 2 Pro, and then there's a lot of systems right here, including the systems of the pedals that is all the way at the bottom right here. A lot of cables. The routing was really tough to do as well, because it's so tight obviously in here. But what is really nice is that as part of the simulator there is like little tubes that go from the front on both sides to the back of the simulator, so you can route your cables through. But as you can see, there's not a lot of space to do anything else than the following cables that I already have in there. It's very compact. Now, this was a tour of my new F1 chassis motion simulator. If you want to see me drive this beautiful beast, I still need a name, so let me know in the comments what name you think it should be. I will be doing a tour of the whole brand new studio, which, as I always say, will be the best sim racing studio in the world. That will be the next episode. I hope to see you there. Ladies and gents, thank you so much for watching. Peace out. Bye-bye.